Welcome to Polyrhythm Music LLC. I'm David Van Dyke, and it happened. The new Ghost album is out. Came out last Friday, and I waited all weekend before I made this video because I wanted to give the album time, give it a thorough listen, so that I could give you my honest opinion on the album, possibly the most anticipated album, at least for me, in a while. And it's garbage. It's so bad. First off, let's get into it, okay? You can write vampires and shoot videos with a lot of smoke and fake cemeteries all you want. That doesn't make it spooky if the song is a love song. This is Tobias's love letter to 80s montage music. And for those of you that didn't grow up in the 80s like I did, here's the secret that no one's going to tell you. So if you were born in 90 or 2000 later, I'm getting ready to drop something on you. When you see all these references to, let's cut to an 80s montage, and then a song plays, and the songs that were playing in 80s montages were not hit songs. Sometimes the montage would make it a hit song, but those weren't hit songs because they were cheesy then. What are we doing? What the fuck happened? If you put this album out and you call it Tobias Force, I'm in. I'll buy that album. That's what I want. I'm down. He's a brilliant musician and a brilliant marketer. But to call this a Ghost album? And I get it, the last album, he ripped off some Van Halen riffs, and he ripped off some other 80s stuff, and, the Love Rocket song on this album, which he intentionally used the French terminology or the Latin terminology, whatever, because even he knew calling it Love Rockets wasn't good, so it became Missiles something. That's a Kiss song. All day long. And I understand you're writing a love letter to this genre and this time period, and that's great. But it's not a Ghost album. I don't care how much you mention vampires and drinking blood. I don't get it. I don't know what we're doing. And I watched a video a week before this album came out, might have even been 2 weeks, where he was on a British talk show, I guess. And even he seemed uncertain about this album. And not in the normal, man, I've given it my all, and I hope this is as good as I think it is, and I want to deliver. He seemed very down about the whole thing. He talked about how it was taxing on him, and it was starting to feel like a burden, and he needed time off. And I agree, he does need time off, for sure. Not because of this album. He's given the fans a lot, and he's a dad and a husband, and he needs to go take some time with his family, for sure. He's earned it. But, of course, you have the label and everybody else pressuring you, strike while the iron's hot. But this isn't a Ghost album. I'm sorry. There's no intensity to this album at all. Love Rockets? That's what we're doing now? Okay. Satanized is a Ghost song. It's quirky, and it's got an underlying message, and there's a lot of play on words there, and, he threw some Latin in, but all the tricks seem tired now, and on the interview I was watching, he talks about how this was the first time that the producer he wanted didn't want to make this album because Tobias doesn't use his input as much, and, this album he wanted to help more and do more and have his ideas taken more, and so Tobias would format the overall structure of the song, but then everybody got to put their pieces in. Don't do that. Don't. Next album, let's just do what Tobias wants to do, okay? Because there's a reason one guy built this band to what it is. And his instincts are correct. He's talented. I feel like he's tired, for sure. But any input is just watering down the product because you're not Ghost, he is. This is bad. Like, it's not even, oh, it's not a Ghost album, but it's still it's not good. Satanized is the best song on the album, and anybody that watches my channel knows we have a rule of thumb on this channel. So if you're a part of the Polyrhythm family, you know this rule. You have to listen to something 10 times before you can truly judge it. You've got to give it a full chance, and 10 times seems to be about the limit. I've listened to this album 10 times start to finish. I liked Satanized, and I liked the Like Ramaya or whatever it is, the second single they put out. And now after listening to them for 10 times, I don't like those. Like, the opposite has happened. The more I listen to this, the less I like it. Like, I'm so, there's no intensity to this album at all. And that's the piece that let you get away with this 80s montage stuff and this paying tribute to the 80s. We all knew you were ripping off Van Halen riffs and, Spitalfields or whatever. Like, we knew that. It was fun because you gave us some intensity. This entire album just drags. It's so slow and everything's so poppy. And I'm not saying you can't be poppy and be metal. Look at Sleep Token. I saw somebody write the other day on a Sleep Token song that it's a bad hip hop or a bad R&B track. And I was like, yeah, that's why it's metal. That's why we like it, because it's bad R&B. He's singing about love, but there's still, some intensity and a little aggression here and there. Mind you, I've got issues with the new Sleep Token as well. That's another video. This, guys, what has happened? What are we doing? And in the video that I watched, Tobias himself seemed very uncertain. It wasn't the normal, the album's coming out and, it's hopefully the fans like it. It was more of a like, I don't know that I stand behind this. And I don't know that I would either. A friend of mine loves Ghost, has everything they've done. He collects, their swag and stuff. And it feels like you lost the imagery as well. I don't necessarily care as much for the image. Like, I like the whole gimmick, but I think music in general is getting a little gimmicky. And I can tell with the imagery of this that Tobias kind of learned. He's spoken about learning a lot from the Right Here, Right Now movie and making that. And you can tell that, like, he's opened up to some bigger ideas from the imagery wise. But the imagery doesn't work if you're slamming this with it. And I know a lot of people are going to say, yeah, but the last album, that's fine, you're right. And it worked on the last album. And this could have worked. But what happened? Like, I don't understand what we're doing. Everything seems so safe. And maybe that comes from, he had a lot of trouble with Disney and being banned places and stuff. And now he's gotten to a level of success where you don't want to go backward. And by all means, that's fine. And I am in no way saying that he owes anybody, nobody, not me, not anybody, an explanation. This is his album. This is his thing. He's going to go out, tour it, make a ton of money. Great. I'm happy for him on that. I am genuinely. As a musician, as an artist, I want other artists to succeed. But it broke my brain. Like, look, you can see the bags? This isn't because I've been awake all weekend. This is because I've been crying because this is so bad. What happened? Am I just getting a completely wrong read on this? I've had a lot of conversations over the weekend about this album and what people are thinking, and it generally is not being received well. A lot of Ghost fans feel betrayed. And I would also say, and this will be my final point, because I'm not going to go on and on about this. I don't want to talk about how terrible this album is forever. Fans will give you a pass if you put out something that is not your brand, if you make some gigantic leap and you take a risk. Usually fans will give you that pass. They'll go, you know what? This isn't on brand, and it's not what I thought it was going to be, but man, they tried. Like, they tried all kinds of things here. This was safe. This was as safe as it can be. It's boring. There's no intensity. All the songs sound the same. And in the areas where they don't sound the same, Satanized is a little out there, a little different. But even in those areas, like, there was no risk taken. It was just kind of same old, And you might say that, like, well, the album starts with a flute solo, so that's a risk. Yeah, it is a damn risk. What are we, Jethro Tull now? Like, I don't know what happened. Maybe I'm missing the mark. Let me know what you think in the comments, because to me, this was a swing and a miss in possibly the worst way. I can't think of a band that has ever put an album out that just missed the mark on so many levels. Because there's no risk taken, there's no intensity, everything sounds the same, it's boring, and I don't feel like it fits the Ghost brand. So if you know of a band, what band did that happen for you? Where their new album came out and you went, whoa, man, this doesn't hit right at all. Let me know what you thought. I understand some people are going to love it, and that's fine. If you love it, great. I'm glad you have a new album, to love. I genuinely do. But for me, this Ghost album is garbage. So let me know what you think. Drop a comment below. Let me know what band totally missed the mark, and what album came out that you were like, man, what happened? If you've ever found yourself asking that question, I want to know what band it was. Thanks so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next week.